Hola, greetings and salutations, folks. It's I, your host, Cinema Kane, coming back at you today. And today we are talking about St. Elmo's Fire. I'm a huge fan of 80s young adult / teen movies. For some reason, this particular film had never been on my radar. I never saw it. Decided to watch it the other day, and I was kind of surprised by it. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, I can tell you that. I did enjoy it myself. I find it hard to describe exactly what you're in for with this movie because there's no real plot to speak of. It is essentially a movie about a group of young people fresh out of college trying to figure out life outside of college. It's really more about their friendship dynamics, what they're doing fresh out of school, and also the fact that they're kind of lost. The last, 4 years they've had school. That was the thing that bonded them. That was where they all met. But now they're trying to enter a world that they don't quite fit into or understand yet. It kind of got me thinking about one of my favorite classic books, The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. That movie is about a lost generation of British expats right after World War I, and it's set in the 1920s. Now, what I'm trying to say by this movie, St. Elmo's Fire, reminding me of The Sun Also Rises, is that both generations were lost. One was lost because they didn't have the Great War to be concerned with, not realizing, of course, that there was another war to be concerned with right around the corner. But all of a sudden, they were lacking purpose. The same could be said for these group of 20-somethings right out of school in the early 80s. I would go so far even to say that with the greed is good and the sex, drugs, and rock and roll that was the 1980s, that was the overtone that the war was in Hemingway's book. I'm not saying they're a one-to-one comparison, nor am I saying that this movie from the 1980s is comparable to a work of classic literature necessarily. One is classic for a reason, and the other may be considered a modern classic by many people, but this is one of those situations where you find yourself wondering what exactly the filmmakers were going for, because there are comedic aspects of the film, but the movie overall is an interesting character study of young people in the early 1980s. It's got a great cast. This was the movie that the Brat Pack article was kind of formed off of, and you've got Emilio Estevez, Judd Nelson, Ali Sheedy, Rob Lowe. It's Demi Moore, Andrew McCarthy. It's a great movie with a great cast. Joel Schumacher directed it. I believe he may have co-written it. And it's got a great pop song from the 1980s if you're into synth rock. I enjoyed the movie for what it was, but it definitely gave me parallels between Hemingway's book. I'd be very curious to see what your opinion of this movie is if you've ever seen it. I'm your host, Cinema Kane, and I hope you enjoyed this review of St. Elmo's Fire. If you did, don't forget to click like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click that bell notification so you know every time Cinema Kane has a new video uploaded. And don't forget to share those on all your social media platforms in an effort to help me grow my channel. And I'll see you next time at the video store.